Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my kitchen. Coach Myers here, bringing you another edition of Max Effort Muscle Meals, Muscle Deals. We got a deal for you on these muscle meals, muscle desserts, and on today's edition, we're working with our world-renowned baking mix, the cinnamon baking mix. You guys know and love this stuff, but you can't just use it for pancakes and cookies every day. So I got to keep coming up with unique creations for you. Now, the one I came up with today, my man Jake and I, we're going back and forth on names. We had a name that was really good, but we don't think it's really safe for work. So we are gonna go with the Max Effort Sweet Potato Max Muffins. All right, so it's gonna be very similar to a cupcake. These are gonna be very good for whenever you need to do like a carb load or a carb spike at night, because we're gonna use the cinnamon baking mix. We're gonna have 2 tablespoons of butter, grass-fed butter right there, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, 1 egg, a little bit of water, and then we're gonna use sweet potatoes. In this case, we're gonna use canned yams, just to make it nice and easy for you. But the key is you're gonna have to rinse those yams off. A lot of them come in kind of like a syrup, kind of like a water and sugar solution. Now, if you wanna get really fancy with it, you can take a sweet potato and bake it and use just the raw, cooked sweet potato that way. But just to kind of show you an easier way, we're gonna use the canned yams. We just gotta make sure we rinse it off first. So that's gonna be our, kind of our first step, is to mix up the egg and the yam. We got our oven preheated to 325. Our stomachs are set to super hungry, so these are gonna be excellent. All right, 1 egg. So what I wanna know is, why do things that are already perfect, why do they need like upgraded? Take this can opener for example. I think my wife got this at like Bed Bath & Beyond. It looks fancy, right? Oh, very ergonomically functional handle, and oh, this is all flat. So well, guess what? This thing sucks. I can't tell if I'm really opening the can or not. Whatever happened to the old ones that just look like a tool that you would use to change the oil in your car? That just we need to bring that stuff back. Sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This didn't, the can opener didn't need improved on. All right, so you see, oh yeah, we gotta get rid of all that sugar water right there. And we're not just gonna drain it, but we're gonna rinse these real good. Now you can see the water starting to like come off there a little bit more clear, whereas before it was a real like kind of yellowish, syrupy looking stuff. So now, in theory, all the sugar water has been washed away. There's a little bit left. I'm not gonna tell anybody. We're gonna add that to our egg. Now what I would recommend doing first, before you try to use your whisk, is take your fork and kind of pre-mash the sweet potatoes up. You got 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of coconut oil that are already melted. You want to make sure you really get this mixed up. You don't want any like big chunks of sweet potato in there, because you want it to really just mix well with the baking mix. There we go. Now we're gonna go with the cinnamon baking mix. You could go chocolate chip if you want. But what goes together better than sweet potatoes and butter and cinnamon? Nothing, right? That's why we're gonna use that. We're gonna go with 2 scoops of the mix. And we're going to start out with, we're going to say about 2 ounces of water and go from there. And kind of see, just judge it by consistency, how much more water we got to add as we go along. Would you look at that? My first guess was perfect. I think we needed exactly 2 ounces. It's almost like I know the answers before I even say them or think of it. It's weird. I don't know. That's called a lifetime of experience in the kitchen right there. Sometimes you just know. I mean, I'm driving with my eyes shut right now. All right, there we go. Perfect consistency. It's mixed up good. We don't got any, there's no sweet potato chunks in there. It's right where we need it to be. So now, we got our oven preheated to 325. We got our trusty. So I just figured out if you already have the cupcake papers in the pan and you just try to grab it sideways off of the counter, they will fly into the air and then you gotta get them off the floor. Don't tell my kids if these fell on the floor. Here's the real tricky part. How do I do this without making a big mess? You gotta be kind of quick on the draw there. There we go. Oh, it's a big one. I'll probably top these bad boys off a little bit once I get them all full. Oh man, these look like some killer sweet potato Max muffins. Got the oven preheated to 25. We're gonna throw them in. We're gonna check them after 12 minutes and see where they're at, but it might take anywhere from 15 to 20. Just kind of depends, but we'll check them in about 12 minutes. You don't want to overcook these things, but you got to make sure they're cooked all the way through. All right, so they have been in the oven now for 14 minutes. I looked around 10, they were still really soft. So the way I'm going to test is use a toothpick or a chopstick, and then we're just going to kind of puncture it in like that. Oh, and they're not done. See how it came back not clean? That means they got to cook a little bit longer, so they're at 14 minutes. I'm guessing they're going to need at least another 5 minutes. All right, so our Max muffins have been in here for actually 25 minutes now. I think I kind of underestimated how the sweet potatoes would change the consistency. But you look, now that's coming out clean, which means it's done. All right, we'll let them cool off for a minute and pop them out of there. I'm ready to grub on these sweet potato Max muffins that also have a secret name that only Jake and I know. Sweet potato Max muffins. I cannot emphasize enough to you how kind of soft and cushy these are. I mean, the consistency of them is really great. These are perfect for any of you that are kind of on like a clean bulking phase, or if you want to use them for your carb spike, or if you're if you're an anabolic faster, or if you just want a delicious treat that tastes good. So make sure to tune in. More Max Effort muscle meals, muscle desserts. Our baking mix is fire. Get with the program.